Hello and welcome everyone to the Sacred Union Global Summit. The Sacred Union is a journey to self and is all about recognizing the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the feminine and the masculine within the self, and acknowledging that we need it all to become whole and one with Creator Source. It is in the experience and knowing that being one with everything there is will liberate us from the bondage of hate, separation, poverty, lack, and everything that we are not. So during these 5 days of this conference, you'll have the opportunity to listen to 20 plus speakers, healers, shamans, doctors, wisdom keepers, coaches, and mystics, who will provide wisdom and guidance on the journey to self, a journey to self-mastery, to return home to who we truly are. It's time to know thyself, to remember who you truly are, pure divine love. My name is Ami Sohi and I'm your host for today, and I'm the creator of this event as well. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you, to each and every one of you for being here today with us. And just, coming and journeying with us in this beautiful experience. So thank you so much for being here today. So without further ado, I'm very excited and thrilled to present Enrica Ferruzzi. Enrica Ferruzzi was born in Rome with a dual cultural upbringing. So she's half American and half Italian. She thrived in a successful corporate career within the travel industry. Despite all her achievements, an inner yearning for deeper meaning emerged. After 2 decades in the corporate world, Enrica defied norms, resigning for a life attuned to her core essence. Her journey, marked by loss and restlessness, led her to rediscover ancient healing arts. Guided by spirit allies in restoring lost pieces of her soul, she became a teacher and healer, sharing timeless transformation practices over the past decade and training individuals in unlocking healing potential. Enrica has now authored Beads of Light, detailing her profound alignment, a testament to embracing change through empowering spiritual practices. Welcome, Enrica. Such an honor and pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Ami. Welcome. It's a pleasure. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you.
The honor is all mine. So yeah, welcome once again. And your topic for today is journeying within, exploring self-realization and internal alchemy. Wow, what a profound topic, and so aligned with the Sacred Union. So can you explain to the audience, what does Sacred Union actually mean to you?
Thank you. Yes, it's a beautiful topic, and you are so right in your introduction. It is time for all of us to remember what it's like to kind of navigate through all the different aspects of who we are. So when we say the word sacred union, to me means really returning or remembering a deeper state of alignment. And alignment, I want to just say a few things about alignment because it's, to me, multidimensional. We usually think of a vertical line. We think of our energy pillar, which is the foundation, a true basic foundation of our multidimensional being. So the one dimension of alignment being, the physical form, our physical body, along with the first few layers of our energy body, involves the 7 internal chakras, the endocrine system, your nervous system, our structure. And so returning to understanding what alignment is internally and externally using our physical form is probably the most important foundation that we really need to master. And so alignment, from my experience, and I can share a little bit more, becomes a sense perception. And so with that, I want to add, we have these cosmic, extremely powerful forces of what we name them the divine feminine, divine masculine, the primordial water and fire, right? So the yin and the yang. And so the alignment as a sense perception becomes this constant movement. So it's not static. And we notice in our, and we're born with this ability. So this is actually our innate healing power. What happens is, in life, when we're children, we don't know any better. We're perfect. We know everything, actually. But then we adopt programs, ideas. This is the world, the life on Earth. And so, in my personal experience, I noticed once I want to add, once I began to experience more of who I am, and just like a little door opening, and I can see more light and a little bit more, and it continues to open. It's an ongoing evolution and upgrading. It's never ending. But once I could experience more of myself, meaning my and feeling energy, different aspects of who we are, not just our physical form, what we can see with these eyes, then I could really see clearly, wow, I'm really like, I've led my life with this one force all the time. And, and so this is, I think, just like thinking, it becomes a pattern of a habit, right? So we're stuck in a loop, and I could see, and everything made so much sense. Why the whole right side of my body was on fire, such as inflammation and shoulder, the hip, the lower back, all my right side. So my whole life was driven, work, doing basically, right? And that means many things. And so although I was externally, I experienced great, success, a wonderful career. I managed people. I love people, and training, and the exchange of energy wasn't balanced. And then, so what I want to, the deeper level of alignment is really recognizing there's going to be a time where you need to also operate within the other force, which is the receptive, more creative, stop, and it's like pause instead of just always going. However, I didn't know any difference, but we're not taught these wonderful ancient principles of alignment, balancing, calming the mind, and we're transported and pushed around by these concepts that are purely mental. And so when mental activity rules our everyday daily activities and our everyday functioning, it's not a complete picture. And so I began to I was more interested in feeling more complete, and I didn't know what that meant. But slowly I was guided, and now I can see I was gently pushed by my mom, my guides and my higher self to like learn this way, and look at that. You can learn and recover some parts of you, here and there. So I'm saying a lot of things, but really alignment in the one dimension, such as using your body to really ground, right? So it's not a complete picture if we think, I want to take care of my heart and energy fields with just thinking alone. And same, we can't just function only with the physical. So in order to be that bridge, because we are the cosmos and the earth together, there's a constant needing to give and receive. So the earth can communicate through our body, and pure knowledge and information can actually rise through the consciousness and the mind of the body, and then this refined energy can expand. So the alignment of the physical form, which includes first few layers of our energy field, is the foundation, which really means being the best surfers we know how to. We were born within water, so we know how to navigate. We just lost practice. And then then there's this other layers of alignment, which involves the soul, the heart mind, which is, I would say, the first mind. And then that's a circular process. So when we're able to expand more, and I'm making like, a big movement with my arms because we're much more than our physical form, then we can like pull in like these, what I call the beads of light, like a magnet, like, oh, I lost this part of me back then when, this happened or this other thing happened. And it doesn't involve old framework of remembering or reliving. It needs to just, energy's never destroyed. It needs to just move and get transformed. This is internal alchemy. It is the power of transformation that we're the only ones that can actually do that. Guides and, in this on this earth, people, parents, educators, can help us and guide us, but really we're the ones that have our own medicine, which is what resonates most with our own vibration. So others can have a good influence and help us discern, this is good for me, this is, and so this requires a level of connection with our processes of information, where the discernment becomes, this constant movement of understanding that is not really my information. How is it making me feel? What is my body compass telling me? And so it's like a continuous movement and circular movement, which makes me, it's, for me, I see this as, the microcosmic orbit movement, which is an ancient, shamanic Chinese Qigong principle. But so as we experience this physically through different practices and introspection, there's more expansion, which allows us to then ingather more light. And that is the process that everyone's going through. It's even people that are not, that they don't think themselves to be, on the path of understanding themselves better or upgrading. Everybody's going through this process. But if we are able to kind of pay attention a little bit more and be open, release control, which is a more, structured way of operating versus the opposite. So like, receptive surrender, I don't know. Being comfortable with, I don't know. It's not easy. I mean, I'm really good at controlling, but it's actually a really comfortable space to be in, to create that space to be in the, I don't know. We'll see. I'll pause there. I said so much.
No, beautiful. Whatever you said, everything you've said has really resonated with me. We're this multi-dimensional being, creative beings, always expanding. If we just, like you said, just let go, just surrender. Yeah. And I love the phrase, let go, let God, just
Right,
surrender to the creator and everything will flow. And we're meant to flow, right? In order to co-create. So yeah, and then come into that alignment. Once we're in that alignment, the balance with the masculine, the feminine, that's when kind of the magic happens, when we're really aligned to the yin and
right,
the yang, the masculine, the feminine. And as you know, today it's just very distorted, the world. It's too masculine, heavy on the masculine. So we need to come back into balance
right.
with the feminine side. Yeah. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, I know you've just launched your book, Beads of Light. Wow, it sounds so fascinating, intriguing. And yeah, so can you maybe tell us more about your this this beautiful creation? So how
Yes.
does the book serve as a compass for individuals navigating change in their lives? And what insights does it offer on gracefully maneuvering through transitions?
Right. Yes. Thank you. So much to say. The book came about really quickly, although I had been, processing how to put my thoughts together for a long while. The my journey, and it's, nothing special, but I just felt really, really, I felt pushed really to like share my story with others, because if I can help even one person try to see their own journey, their own story of the ups and downs in life and the good, bad, and ugly, in a way to in awe of what we learn, what we lose, what we gain, instead of life happens to me mentality. That is my desire. So the sharing is really more about like my experiences of growing and learning more about the invisible world, which is actually natural. Our natural way of being is to be able to communicate with our higher minds, whatever we want to call it, spirit, soul. When we can through the diligent practice. I speak a lot about diligent practice. I just heard in my mind speak about this. The diligent practice is about dedicating time to ourselves, and self-discovery is self-care, and it requires us to kind of return to remind ourselves diligently that it is the most important thing that one can do each day. So we tend to forget because we get busy with external things that we need to do. You need to take care of your family, work, school, go to the bank, post office, whatever. And we have to function in this life for sure. But life changes completely when we take time to pay attention to ourselves and then make space. And so for someone like, I worked 20 years in the corporate world. I was, like I mentioned before, happy, successful. I loved my work. But at the same time, even although in the external, everything was great, inside there was this giant black hole. I didn't know what it was, I don't know. But I learned through, different practices of understanding who I am more, that really what was missing is me. And so I share through, the throughout beads of light, how empowerment means really becoming brighter, which means I need to pull back in parts of me that I lost. And where did I lose them and why? I want to be clear that this doesn't require one to relive, traumatic experiences. We are not our story. We can use that as fuel to change and create what we want. So there's no accident. There's no, you know, I really strongly believe that, and I've seen it in my life. So when we start to pay attention to signals, our own language that comes through messages, what we surround ourselves in, I'm reminded as I look around in my room, like look carefully at what we've collected, because it is a reflection of our soul and spirit speaking to us on what is needed, how we arrange things in our environment, what is nurturing. And so then to pay attention, does this deplete my energy or does it enhance it? And then make those subtle changes here and there. So I tend to go off on a tangent, so I apologize for that, but now I'm reminded, go back. What I mean in regards to the empowering spiritual practices is what I learned through different forms of energy purification practices, energy cultivation practices, including multidimensional technologies such as light language and new paradigm work, is that we are way more than thought, emotions, and our physical form. And our role is really to become good leaders. A good leader is understanding future, looking ahead, but also having a bigger perspective, but also managing. So we need to really become good managers of our thought processes that are not the leaders in life, and then understanding what the soul, including soul trauma, soul how the soul needs to process information through the body that we chose. And this is a very profound work, but at the same time, it sounds all so metaphysical and everything, but it's our natural process of growth. So although one may say, I was just reminded last night, well, I don't know these things. How do I, do it? To simplify life in general is a huge help. So to bring it down to something practical is, and what I experience in my life, is to simplify, to stop everything, pause, and do things to take care of whatever you need to take care of in the moment to make yourself feel comfortable. Maybe it's taking time off, and maybe, and there needs to be a time where we do that on a regular basis. So yeah, so I share in the book a lot of the practices that have helped me, including some principles that can help people navigate through their own life changes.
Hmm. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that's all the shares are really beautiful. That it's just, yeah, natural way of being, like you said, just, expanding, just, yeah, the multidimensional aspect of us. That is our innate, way of being, right? And also, those are our gifts, we can access those aspects of us in order to find our superpowers, everything that, yeah, we were never taught. Yeah. Um,
Right.
yeah, I just hope for the future generation, these aspects of our way of being, our natural way of being, will be taught at school, going
Right.
forwards. Yeah, because it's so
Well,
important, so
and
important.
and also
Yeah.
I want to add in this day and age, and especially the last 20 years, probably 30, we have so many more resources available for people to learn different ways. And then there's this resurfacing of these ancient practices, which is beautiful. What I learned, my training is based on East Asian practices that are thousands of years old. And I mean, why? I was just like, I went through such a big rebellion when, I went through um, the loss of my mother, who became ill with cancer and then passed away within just very short time. And so at that time, I was just learning all these healing technology. I call it technology, just like alignment processes in our body are technology. And I was just like, I can't believe I didn't know this stuff. I could have helped her, even with symptoms. And certainly that doesn't help anybody, but that's was my way of dealing with grief, right? And everyone deals with change in different ways. So just the rebellion of like, this system doesn't work anymore. So like you said, I am um uh, I truly feel that this is the direction we're going in, and there is a lot more brightness on Earth than the lower vibration that we're seeing. We're just exposed to that more, and so I'm confident that healers, teachers that have a more expanded view of who they are can really guide people to understand that we're not this small mind, and who we identify with as far as like the roles that we identify with, stuff we identify with, we're not that. And so, which is hopeful, right? It's like that's I think this is how we are receiving information, not just from the above, but also cosmic energy is coming through the earth, and then we need to be able to absorb it from the earth in a different way now. I I really felt like, especially the last few years coming back to Europe, for me was just like, oh my gosh, there's this new energy coming from the earth, rising and changing our physical form, and so upgrading our energy system. Things are changing quite quickly. Um, yeah, I just felt called to say those words.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
but
beautiful. Yeah, I totally agree, Enrica, because like you said at the beginning, it's changing. The Earth frequency are changing. So the alchemy is happening, this internal alchemy. The solar flare is also coming down, from the cosmos. So as you mentioned, like whether we like it or not, it's happening. It's not just happening to the few, it's happening to all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need teachers like yourself, to guide people who are going through this awakening process, to assist and guide and get them through, because it can be a lonely journey as well if you don't know or don't understand what's happening, to you, to
Sure.
your body. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. So more on your book. I know you talk about these ancient practices, right, in your book. Can you share something about that? How do they empower readers to find their authentic voice amidst the complexity of the modern day world?
Right. Yes, thank you. I was mm, called to rediscover the ancient practices of energy cultivation, such as qigong and um, external movement, internal movement, and was trained in Sando Qigong, which is, there's many different forms of energy cultivation practices. So that was the gateway for me to a deeper understanding and expansions because, I've always been quite physical. So movement is what allowed me to be more present that, versus when when my doctors first sent me to mindfulness courses, it was incredible, but for me it was very challenging being always an overactive person. I didn't know what it meant. You want me to pay attention and slow down? And then of course through practice, because it's very natural, later I learned, but it takes practice to redirect the mind and kind of like be that observant um being. Movement is what allowed me to really create space inside my heart, allow the mind and to really expand, to be able to hold and see more, and to honestly look at myself and see, look at my tormenting brain processes and what I'm thinking about. It's like a bad commercial going on all the time. And so, but having more compassion towards myself instead of, we're so hard on ourselves. They're like, I can't believe I did that again. And that happens sometimes. But um, so these ancient practices of energy purification and through movement, it allowed me to really feel more whole. And so this was the first time that I experienced, being quiet up here expanded as far as like, feeling so spacious and comfortable, and then feeling fully in my body. So expanding my five senses, including thinking, so six senses, and then moving beyond that, energy senses, spiritual senses. But the let's say the continuous growth and more shifting occurred when I was exposed and then learned, and is what I incorporate in my work now is the languages of light, connecting with my guides in a different way, in a more profound, um, really like a transfer device, connecting, receiving, sending. And I've always been drawn to ancient civilizations, back to Egyptian times and before that time. So, and my love for the ancient cultures has always like brought me to like really see symbols, numbers, lines, colors, shapes as messages. And this is what I still do, right? So even in the characters, the Chinese characters in the ancient scriptures and the Hermetic principles and the hieroglyphs and the deep multidimensional meaning of these symbols has have developed into a spiritual practice for me. So this is something that I share in the book. So ancient principles that are part of our lineage on this earth, but also the star people and our ancestors and the earth herself, as well as the practice of dreaming, active dreaming, not just dreaming at night, but active dreaming, visionary journeys, and using our visualization to access states of consciousness that are more in tune to receiving the purest form of information from our higher self, and then integrating it and allowing it to really anchor into the earth. So these are practices that not only encompass the vertical alignment, so that basic foundation that we all need to really daily, practice daily and become really good at, but relearn us, because we're really good at that. We just forget, right? We're just like tormented by leading with the mental compass instead of our whole body as a one. And so then the practices, which no, it's not that anybody in the modern world invented, like body tapping. It's very simple. We see it all the time, but it's a beautiful, simple practice to get our energy circulation to a point where we can release detrimental energy that we accumulate from ourselves, as well as the environment, and others. So I kind of share a lot of those practices and how they have helped me, and also my experiences and teachings. And so for me, that's like the only way to live now. But 15 years ago, I was just discovering and relearning these things, which resonated with me so much that I practiced some things and I said, oh, I know this stuff, even though I don't know what's happening. And I've always been quite scientific, like needing to know, like, but what's happening in the nervous system for me to experience this, right? Because I've never felt this way. And I'm so lucky because my teacher had a medical background that she could explain, this is what's happening in your body. And I'm like, oh, so cool. And so I was, so I also like to share that aspect too, for the more scientific, like needing to know. And it's okay. Sometimes we need to soothe that part of us, because needing to know is a way to control things, which is a little bit of a symptom of contraction, which is okay. It serves sometimes, but then sometimes we need to just like, I don't know, and just feel, I don't know, when we're in a state of presence, which is a sense perception or neutrality, you don't know. And then you receive information and you share, and that is, most beneficial for whoever you're, with or yourself. So I don't know what this means, but it must be good because I'm doing it now and it feels good. Does that make sense?
Of course, yes, yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, just let go, and so much comes through
Mhm.
from the universe, right? The universe is always there to help us and guide us. Whatever happens to us, I really now truly believe it's for our own, for our highest good.
Yeah.
It's happening for us, not to us. So I'm
Mhm.
really, yeah, I'm really a firm believer of that now. Yeah, so wow, beautiful shares there. And I know, Enrica, you do light language, and you're really guided, yeah, from your spirit family, let's
Mhm.
say. And can you? I know there'll be people in the audience that don't understand what light language is and what that means. Can you please explain?
Oh,
Say a few
sure.
words on that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Light language is, I like to explain it as a multidimensional healing technology. It is mm, through an individual who achieves a state of complete presence and spaciousness, so emptying the mind and spaciousness, then one becomes a transfer device. So it's not like we're directing energy or in that way. What we're doing is really being receptive to whatever's, of course we could request, like, okay, this is the intention based on whatever the person needs or the collective or myself. But the most important thing is to get out of your way. And then when we receive the information, this is a delivery of vibration. So it's a transmission of a vibration. And for me personally, it comes through movement, it comes through sounds and words. For some people, it comes through singing and art and writing, and everything is really art. If we're creative beings, and this is how it comes through. My experience with light language after I learned from a powerful teacher in Arizona when I lived there is that I could recognize a significant shift in my own physical alignment, and how I discern information on the vibration I was perceiving. So there's different qualities of vibration. And so when we're in our most expanded state, and that is a constant movement, alignment, movement, consciousness, it's all always like a cosmic ocean, always moving, then we can receive in packets of data. It's literally technology and streaming information. And then if, for example, you're working with a client or a group or even yourself, the vibration that your physical form and your energy and spiritual fields are able to um, transmit, communicate back and forth, you're being delivered information that, number one, you're ready to receive now, and then also information that maybe needs to be integrated, and it will unfold later. And so it's really powerful, and that's why I say multidimensional. Now, most of the, at the beginning, I was like, what is happening with, I don't understand the sounds, because we want to understand it with the brain. But light language bypasses thinking. There's nothing to understand with thinking, actually. So the brain is extremely powerful, but it just simply cannot process this level of vibration. So it's soul language. It is a very ancient way to communicate with our higher minds. And I say minds in plural because there's the mind of the body, the mind of the soul, spirit, our multidimensional families, our ancestors, the earth herself. So when I started, sharing inspired words, so healing words of light, so channeling light language, for me was just another door opening, and that's all I wanted to do. And I wanted to incorporate it with the work that I was doing through energy healing practices, and that's what I do now. So I share that in Beads of Light as a to express my experiences with light language, and everyone's quite unique. So when I and every day I practice asking. Sometimes I know exactly what I need, like, please help me with my headache, or my back hurts, I did something yesterday, or I'm worried about this, and then other times it would just be, I'm not sure what I need, but please, let me feel more expanded right now. And then I always connect with the deepest form, which I should say brightest form of my own essence. This is your own, communication system. It's technology. And I am so glad to see a lot of people are opening to this. I've seen a lot of healers offer online, a lot of young people doing light language, and everyone resonates with a teacher, a technique, and so there's no one way that's good for everyone. But I particularly resonated with two wonderful teachers like Judy Satori and Jamie Price, along with my teacher Jennifer Roble. But there are so many out there, right? So if people want to explore more, yeah, plenty of resources out there.
Yeah, wow, beautiful. Yeah, as you mentioned, Enrica, this is ancient technology, right? Ancients used to use these technologies all the time. It was like just the normal way of living. And we've just forgotten. And now is to remember again
Yeah.
who we truly are and what technologies actually are within us, to that we can access for our own healing and also healing our planet, healing humanity. Yeah, beautiful. So, yeah, going back to your book, Enrica, so in what ways does the book encourage readers to reconnect with their true core essence? And how does it guide them through self reflection and introspection?
Hmm. Yeah, and for this, thank you. A beautiful question. For this, I would, I would just share that in my personal experience, the most beautiful mm, way to look at my life now is when I slowed everything down because I had to, because I felt physically ill. And so the stress level forced me to take a break. And then these things happen sometimes in life. I see it all the time where, you're even not on like a dramatic level, maybe you get sick and you get a flu or something happens, a twisted ankle, and you need to slow down for a weekend. But for me, it happened because I was just ignoring and avoiding, and I'm fine. I'm Wonder Woman. I can just keep going. I'm fine became my motto. I'm fine. And so that's actually really funny. People used to make fun of me for that. Are you okay? I am fine. And then I had to stop. And then when I stopped everything, it was forced to slow down and look at what's happening and then analyze what do I want to create. And so the catalyst for me was really to see the changes my mom was going through and then her transition. Um, allowed me to look at everything and then continuing, like that's a never ending journey of reevaluating. So rethinking, dismantling everything I think I know. And it's not always pleasant, but it was so freeing. And so when I say, okay, the introspection and looking at your journey, looking at your story, to pause and look back and really see, and we have to, there comes a time where we need to take responsibility for everything that we are. And there are so many but and now and I'm only 48 and I'm still I'm so excited about what's next for the next 50 years, but it's like I look at all of the parts of me that I totally neglected and left behind when I was so young because I was ashamed, or oh, this is not proper, and the doubts and the fears, and there's nobody to blame. This was just my process of learning. And so my desire is really for people to look at their own story and take yeah, and pull it back in and then become more whole. And so this allows us to navigate through the changes in life, the big ones, the small ones, and to continuously seek balance. I'm convinced that every human being wants to feel balanced. Isn't that like, I mean, it's not like only because I'm a Libra. This is our mission is to find balance and to navigate, which means you have to hold both. So going back to our sacred union, we have to hold everything. And so the powerful pillar of the yin and the yang, that itself, they're not two, they're multidimensional, they have many layers, but if we can hold it all in, which means every aspect of you, even the ones that you don't even know you have, and then be open to take more. And so this is a continuous process. It's not like I got it, okay, I got it now, but then what's next? So it's like it's a constant, the spiral. I describe a spiral evolution. Yeah, so introspection as a daily practice, not too much thinking, no more mental processes. Mental processes is it's a support system, not the driving force. A support system.
Yeah, wow. I love that. What you said is the thinking is the support system, not the driving. driving force, you know. So
No
don't
more,
let
no more in charge.
don't let the mind get in behind the steering wheel. Right.
No, yeah, bad pilot.
Yeah, bad pilot, yeah. Let the heart take the wheel. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful shares. Yeah, I love that. That's when we bring everything into balance. The union with ourself, you know, the sacred union with our temple, which is our body, right? So when we're with the sacred union within, things just flow. The alchemy happens. Yeah, that's when the
Yeah,
alchemy, yeah, happens.
right.
Wow. Beautiful. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience? And maybe do you feel called to do a practice with us?
Well, I'd like to share just a reminder to what it means to feel centered. And centered, what's overly used these days. It's like be grounded. Okay, we are grounded. We're attached to the earth through the invisible force of gravity, right? But to feel centered, it's like the center of the body needs to be the focal point, not the center of the internal chakras, because that's one dimension of energy systems. So centered allows us to then see this way, above, below. And what experiences we're experiencing with our five senses plus thinking is our homework. And so whatever experiences we see out there, even things that we think are so remote from us, you know, whatever's happening in the world is so foreign to me, I don't know what's happening over there. It is a reflection of a vibration that's happening inside. And so the center of who you are needs to be can be, nobody needs to do anything, but I always check myself when I say you need to do this. But I feel so strongly about it, but like the center needs to be that, like, I know exactly what that is. And so to remind people that outside world, whatever you see is a reflection of what's happening here. We hear it all the time, but what does that really mean? So go to that center and then ask questions. So that is the practice of introspection. But the answers to the questions in full alignment. So alignment this way, and then in the sphere of expansion is that very subtle, small voice, calm of the soul and spirit merging together. That is the expanded uh, true wisdom, and then the inner healer and inner teacher. So I just encourage people to not overcomplicate things with knowledge, intellectual knowledge, but more with feeling, and then centering and doing everything you can every day to take care, self-practice. So recharge, recharge, recharge. Um, that is I felt called to, like, to share that centering. It's quite important. As far as the practice, I think, I don't know. I'm not sure. I
Do
shared
you
so
feel
much.
called? I mean, only if you feel called
Mhm, sure. I'm happy to share
yeah.
maybe a short light language transmission.
Oh,
Would that be
maybe
okay with you?
for the collective, perhaps.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sure the audience would really enjoy that. Thank you,
All
Enrica.
right. So just give me a moment. I will hold my stones. We can close our eyes and take a deep breath in, and then breathe out through the mouth, and just drop your shoulders, sink in, relax your belly and lower back. And breathe comfortably. Energy words. Tarano soroku mai tai tai tukuronare sere full alignment tarini sete te arana umora na tai te atarasene te amora sa e sere anai te tar utarana sa atrek te anara namai sa. Please breathe in and out. Fusu taritiktai saranu anara nama anara tsaku taraktanara no shura ne te enera tainera tasanarako anara fu ta tit anara teserena ama fu metekea no saraitekea na ana asara mua na ko. Sa iti ni niara anama aitit anara sa anora fu onoro katait eneri fu osa poku nara. And breathe deeply and let go. Place your hands on your chest and you can make a big circle in any direction of your heart, higher heart chakra. And make a little space between your palms and your chest and just feel your body breathe. Notice the connection between your fingers and your palms and your heart. Bring your palms directly in front of your eyes without touching. And in warm energy from your palms, direct that energy to the space just behind the eyes, behind your forehead, moving inward to the pineal gland, pituitary gland, moving down, rushing through brain stem along the spine, igniting every single energy center, shooting down into the center of the earth, crystal core, crystal of the earth. Now sweep upward towards your forehead, your hair, massage your hair, massage your beautiful hair, and then massage your neck. You can open your eyes if they were closed. And then massage your trapezius, top of your shoulders. And then sweep down the chest towards your legs and then your arms. Okay, and rub your hands. And let's make a circular motion over your face. Without touching is okay. And then again, sweeping down. Okay. All right, that was nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was very expansive. I could feel my third eye opening up, and I felt, yeah, expansive actually.
Good.
Wow, thank you so much. And
It's my pleasure. Thank you for
such a,
letting me share.
wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful session. Thank you so much, Enrica, for this, yeah, beautiful session today. And I know you have a free gift to share with the audience. So can you just tell us a little bit about your free gift, please?
Certainly, yes. It's just the first 3 chapters of my book that explains a little bit about, the introduction and then the first couple of chapters. And so I hope people can enjoy that and then would like to explore more.
Beautiful. So, yes, so everyone, thank you for joining us today. And if you want to learn more about Enrica and her beautiful work, what she offers, all these technologies, the ancient practices, light language, please go and visit her website, which is www.cosmicoceanfrequencies.com. The link is below this session. So, and you can also get your free gift from Enrica. The link is below this session, this beautiful interview. So once again, Enrica, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
today, and what a pleasure to have you here with
Thank you,
us today.
Ami. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and yeah, wish you a beautiful day. Thank you. Bye bye.